Time to get started on the front end. Got to replace these bushings here in the upper control arms with the offset bushings here provided by Belltech. I already tried to do one and it ended in a disaster. Let me show you what happened. So in order to get the old bushings out, I just used a bushing tool thing. I don't know. I got this from RideTech years and years ago, but it worked great on getting them out. No problem whatsoever. I used my vise, but when I tried to get them back in, my Tecton vise didn't hold up. Now I know this is a Chinese made vise and that I probably should have used a press, but going ahead and measuring these bushings, like this is a tight tolerance right here, right? Like I can't even, okay, there we go. But now the old bushings, what? Like Belltech, how in the world is that supposed to fit in there? Like what am I supposed to do with that? I don't know. Very frustrating. So now I have to buy a new vise and I don't think I'm actually going to go ahead and run these. I'm going to hope that these offset camber plates here that I bought from Specialty Products Company, I think you can just get these on Amazon, just look up that part number, will be enough of a camber adjustment in order to dial this thing in. If not, then I'm gonna have to figure out a way to run these. But I don't wanna have to go, that's dangerous, like trimming that up in order to get these to fit in there. Yeah, not about that. So I'm gonna press the old bushing back in and then just go with these. And we're gonna see how it goes. So got it up here on jack stands. First thing, tear down. So basically I'm gonna take everything off that I don't need anymore. And I'm actually gonna take the inner fender lighters out, help to provide a little bit more light for both you and I to see a lot better. And then we'll go from there. So what's great about also taking out the fender liners, it gives you great access to the manifolds to replace them with, like, I don't know, headers. I wish I had some. Oh, you mean like these? Thank you. Finish that front suspension first. Come on, I don't want to wait. Why would you lick them? Well, you heard me. I guess we got to finish the front suspension first. And then, but next episode, we're gonna do a full exhaust system, including those speed tech headers. Those things are trick. So yeah, let's keep going on tearing this thing down. So I just ran into one of my first little snags. I don't have that nut size. That is an 1 7/16 or a 36 millimeter socket for the front drive shaft, CV, whatever you want to call that. Yeah, I'm gonna have to pick one of those up in the morning, but I'm gonna continue with the tear down and keep going, get as much out of there as possible. So I ended up grabbing my socket, borrowed it from my dad, and then this big old breaker bar. And then I ended up sticking this pry bar in between the studs itself in order to get enough leverage to get the nut off. And I didn't record it because it wasn't safe for children, the words that I was using while I was trying to do that. But I'm glad that this came off, and now we can continue on taking the rest of it apart. Passenger side completely stripped out. So this is good to go for a little bit more cleaning, prep work, and then some paint. This is a good example of why I bought all new stuff, because this lower ball joint's trash. Got to replace that when I clean this up because we got to reuse the lower control arms. I'm going to take the spindle apart, take the hub assembly off there because I have a new hub, and then I'm going to trim up my dust shield because I'm not sure if I have to do it yet, but I'm pretty sure I will because I got a big brake kit coming for this thing, and I don't want that to get in the way, and I don't want to tear it apart again. So this is kind of what I did to get the lower ball joint out. As you can see, I just kind of ground down the lip. These are the factory ones. So if you have like a C-clip one, like the one I'm going to put back in, obviously you got to take the C-clip out. But I think I had some kind of like pressed lip in there, so I ground that all off until it was flush with the upper control arm, install the upper control arm again, put a jack underneath it right there, and basically just hit it with a BFH until she started to move and pop out. You could also probably put a little bit of heat to here in order to loosen these things up if they're completely rusted in. And then I'm going to clean up and paint this, and then I will go ahead and install the new one. Got the driver's side completely stripped out, just like the passenger side. Now I'm just going to go ahead and clean up everything that I'm going to reuse, paint everything, like the spindles, shafts, lower control arms, make them look pretty again. Over here at my dad's shop because he has a press, much needed, to put in these ball joints, make things a lot easier. I ended up taking the boots off of here and just making something that fits perfectly on there. A couple of spacers so I don't hurt the threads, and this should go fairly smooth. Yeah, so much for getting everything cleaned up and painted today. Because obviously I don't want to paint inside the barn with the truck in there, get overspray everywhere. Thunderstorms, springtime, Michigan, gotta love it. So one thing I gotta tackle real quick is painting these brake calipers. I have a 6-piston wheelwood kit for the truck, but the rotors are actually on back order, and until those come in, obviously I gotta run these until I have all the parts and pieces to throw that kit on. A quick cleanup and some paint should take care of it. All right, calipers are painted, dried. Masked them off with some aluminum foil because I don't want to get overspray on them, because the next step I'm going to do is the frame. I used some leftover packaging material that came in, I don't even know what it came in, but it works great for masking off large areas, as you can see. And then I'm going to hit the frame up with this Duplicolor truck bed coating. Love to use this stuff. Should give it a nice textured sheen look and hide a lot of the imperfections. Yeah, so let's spray this frame, get it all pretty again. So I'm definitely feeling a little bit loopy from all the paint fumes in the barn. Yeah, enclosed area, not the smartest thing to do. Killing a few brain cells tonight. Got all my new parts and refurbished parts laid out here, nice and neat for quick assembly in the morning, and that's the plan. Overnight, let this dry. In the morning, tackle it again. So it's actually been a couple days, but I think I'm ready to start assembly again. Area all cleaned up. I got a nice blanket laid out for all my new parts to be soft laid on as I assemble them. front suspension just about wrapped up, and this is looking so good. All those brand new shiny parts. I love it. Last thing I have to throw on is the sway bar, upgraded sway bar from Belltech. You can feel the difference. I mean, this is one solid bar. This is the hollow bar. God, I bet this weighs twice as much, but that's gonna be awesome. So just gotta throw that in and the fender liners and we're done. There we have it, front suspension completely assembled. This is where I'm gonna call it for this one. Next up, do the headers. You kind of already saw a preview on that with a full exhaust, and then I'll reveal the wheels and tires, and then we can get this thing on the ground, do an alignment, and actually drive it again. Thanks for watching, guys. It's exciting.